What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and today we're talking about the flaming pile of garbage that is Anthem. If you've forgotten or you don't know what Anthem is, I'm sorry to bring this to your attention and remind you about the tragedy that has befallen the Anthem community. And it's the constant waiting for some form of plan, some kind of concept, some form of direction. Oh, help us, heaven help us, thank God there's other better games out there. Anthem is a game that I am generally excited about, as in terms of that I look at it and I see such potential. But at this point, I hope and I pray that there's some developers out there that can also see that same kind of potential. But having not even any reason to play the game, having after beating it and after plenty of hours into it, I'm just sitting here thinking, yep, it's going to be another 6 to 9 months before this game is ready to be shown. That's assuming that the developers have an idea, have a plan, or even give any 2 cents, any crap in the world about this game and what it means. And so I want to pull your attention to this update, or pull your attention to this Reddit thread where it reads, "Update tomorrow, or should they pull the plug?" Title: The status quo seems to be that it's acceptable to go months without any new content. If this is all that Bio can imagine, pull the plug. The carrot on the stick tactics are doing more damage than anything else. Players deserve to know timelines and actual plans. There has to be some accountability here. And I really couldn't agree more with this post. Honestly, it's really kind of frustrating. BioWare, they should yoshi-p the crap out of this and literally sit down and say, here's what we're doing. If it's a 2-year plan, if it's a 5-year plan, I don't care how long the plan is. I'll get mad about it at that point if I need to get upset about it. But at the end of the day, like, if there is some general idea where they want to take this game, they need to have that honest conversation with the community. They need to sit down and kind of have their come to Jesus moment and say, listen, this is what we want. This is what we think the franchise can be. We've heard it. Now, they've been public PTR testing out the Cataclysm events to the point where I thought about checking it out. I went to check it out. It obviously wasn't ready. And then it's like, at the end of the day, I'd rather go play another game. And speaking of which, at this point, I think in the video, I think it's just better for everybody and at least my mental health and state of mind, just to switch this to Destiny and show some Destiny footage, because it's that much more entertaining to watch. And that's really such an interesting contrast. Anthem was supposed to be some kind of Destiny killer. Anthem was supposed to make Destiny compete. Well, turns out there's a lot of nuance to that conversation. There's a lot of nuance to the overall setting of the whole world and everything that is contained within. Like, I love these games and I'm always rooting for developers. I'm never going to sit here and say that, to attack the developers. I want them to have the freedom to create the games they want to create. And when I look at it, I just say, come on, guys. You have the potential here for such an amazing world and story. There is such potential, and I get distracted by that potential because in reality, obviously, it's not lined up. It's so interesting, again, like I said, a contrast when you look at Bungie and what they have been doing with leaving Activision and the changes that they're making. You look at Forsaken and you see that it's such a strong outing. You see that they're bringing in a free-to-play model. I think the free-to-play model ends up working out real well in these concepts of share world shooters, in these concepts of games that continually evolve, and that the game wants to then sell you things. I think if anything else, what you obviously, with this game more or less than anything needs, and even hell, Destiny needs, could be some kind of player-driven economy. Right now, that is lacking. And when you look at games like Warframe, that's something that they're just crushing on. The concept of the player-driven economy, the concept that the market kind of sets the value rather than some kind of publisher setting the value for these items, because players can sell them, players can trade, players can barter, players can kind of team up and help each other out. I think that's really where the difference maker ends up being. And that's why when it comes to the Anthem community, we're going to be kind of goofing on them tomorrow in a post over here at Ginger Nation. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and come back tomorrow and check out that post. I'm trying to kind of preload the channel with a little bit of videos here, just so that you guys can hopefully have some fun. Especially, I'm going on vacation. Anyway, that's not a part of this video, guys. Gosh, like, the tragedy of Anthem and the hope that essentially is, it's like I kind of wonder if we'll see a kind of Forsaken kind of expansion. If they're going to sit here and say, like, listen, we messed up. The Anthem as a game, the company needs to really decide who and what they want to be. If they don't want to support this game, or they can't figure out how to go about it, if it's just too daggum hard, literally, I think the best thing for them to do is issue refunds, apologize, move on, let us forget this trash heap that has and always will be one of those things and one of those memes that we will have with the game. But I honestly don't want that. I want them to succeed. I want them to deliver. But a part of that has to be in line with the community. I think they've been burned. I think they're scared to share. I think that they're terrified of sharing this information because as a community as a whole, we're angry and we have every right to be. We have every absolute right to be angry, and that is really where the metal hits the roadmap, wherever, whatever analogy or phrase I can say that would actually make sense that I wouldn't butcher. But this is Ginger Prime, and Lord knows I can't say things the right way sometimes, or at least here in Texas we mess up a couple times with some of our phrasings. But regardless, guys, I would love to know what you guys think about this, about Anthem as a whole, about Bungie, about Warframe, the looter shooter, and it's really unfortunate, but the games as a service model, because of almost corporate greed, almost corporate overreach, or because some people who just don't know how to manage these things try and overreach. And so it does leave the bad taste in people's mouth. And so when you talk about a games as a service, people are generally starting to flinch because they generally suck when they come out at launch. Now, then you will give it, a couple years and all of a sudden people are singing its praises, but all the while you still have people who refuse to come back and check it out because they've been burned and burned badly. It's really an interesting thing to watch and see how it plays out. Overall, that's where I'm going to leave it. Again, like I said, I'd love to know your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Let's have a great conversation. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. And who knows, we might see an update to Anthem at some point, and that's going to be a real shocker. We'll see if it's any good. Anyway, I almost said for Work the Game. Anyway, for Ginger Prime Nation. Anyway, for Soul Nation. It's been Ginger Prime. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.
Dead. Kill the prime evil. Portal's ready. Go say hello.